Hello, students. We had to study the next group communication after meeting is conferences. But what is conference? What implications do we have of organizing the conference? कोणत्या कारणासाठी कॉन्फरन्स ऑर्गनाईज करायची असते? आपण मागील काही लेक्चरमध्ये मीटिंग्स किंवा सभा या संदर्भात चर्चा केली. मीटिंग ज्या उद्देशाने घेतली जात असते, ज्या उद्देशाने आपण मीटिंगचं संपूर्ण कार्यवाही करत असतो, ते उद्दिष्ट जर सफल होत नसतील किंवा ज्या अडचणी प्रॉब्लेम्स जे क्लिष्ट असणारे गुंतागुंतीचे आहेत, सच अ कॉम्प्लेक्स and enigmatic questions can be solved with the organization of a conference. So, conference is again we can call as a group communication. And while having such a good quality discussion among the expertise, among the researchers, well acquainted experience holders, we just need to think about in what way the conferences needs to be organized, and that we see are in the conference. So conference is a type of a group communication that we need to think about. The word conference is a noun. It has been derived from the verb like to confer, and it stands for to consult or to discuss. Therefore, the dictionary meaning of the conference is a meeting for the exchange of views and opinions. And what are these views and opinions? And talk together. See, these views are, of course, seen when organized the conference. Conferences are not formal in that sense. They do not have specific terms of reference. The purpose of conference is meeting. Therefore, it is less defined. The discussion of a conference in general term, by general nature and agenda, is less to be arrived at. We need to think that a meeting of people to solve particular problems or making certain kind of a decisions or to discuss specific matters are the objectives of the conference. So, it is a collection or a gathering of the knowledgeable and resourceful persons together, and that we see in organizing the conference. See, so conference organization is not an easy task. So, organization of a conference has 3 clear-cut stages, and these stages we need to go through. But before going into that conferences, it is our concern that we need to think about the types of conferences. Some of the conferences are organized to discuss on the problems and issues. And by analyzing the conference among the expertise, the problems get analyzed, and then we can achieve certain solution to the problems. So there are problem solving conferences. Another type of conference is conference for training. The conferences are organized by the organization to train the new entrants. नवीन जे कामावर आलेले, रिक्रुटमेंट केलेली जे मेंबर्स असेल त्यांना प्रशिक्षण मिळावं या उद्देशाने कॉन्फरन्स आयोजित केली जात असते. मुळात कॉन्फरन्स आयोजन करणं, त्याच्यातून उद्बोधन करणं, ज्ञानाचं देवाणघेवाण होणं ही एक प्रकारची ट्रेनिंग आहे. आणि म्हणून ह्या ट्रेनिंगच्या उद्देशाने कॉन्फरन्स आयोजित केल्या जात असतात. कॉन्फरन्स ह्या ज्या प्लॅनिंग आहे, ज्या स्ट्रॅटेजीज आहेत, त्या व्यवस्थित इम्प्लिमेंट करण्यासाठी किंवा प्लॅनिंग करण्यासाठी कॉन्फरन्स आयोजित केली जात असते. सो वी हॅव this type of conference. At the same time, we have another conference method, that is teleconferencing and video conferencing. It's a contemporary method that we see with the boost of technological advancement, because physical attendance implies lots of cost. It's expensive and it's time consuming too. But to curtail all these expenses and to save the time, conferences are organized through the electronic or internet media, and that stands for teleconferencing or video conferencing, and that is used in the conference procedure. The stages that we have just discussed are the three stages in which the conference needs to be organized. The first one is the planning before the conference is held. So, we should have, before organizing a conference, on what topic, what subject, what is the nature, and what purpose and objective we are going to find out. Needs to be made clear cut. They should be put on paper, so we can get the clear concept, aims and nature of the conference is covered. At the same time, the objectives should be achieved, and for this purpose only visible or tangible objective needs to be aimed for. So let the organization or the institution which organizes a conference be clear cut about the objectives of the conference. Then let it then decide the date, time and plus, because it requires, because there are so many type of work, it's a huge task to organize a conference. There are so many activities that needs to be planned and performed, so it requires enough time, and that is what, to organize a conference is not an easy task. It requires lots of preparation at various levels, and then for that we have to decide date, time and plus of the conference, and also the necessary finance that is going to be required. So having clear cut and to find out the sanctions, find out funds is also one of the work that needs to be carried out. Let it also decide the duration of the conference. Will it be for 1 day, 2 days or 3 days? Decide the duration of the conference. So duration needs to be there. Let the organization make all necessary arrangements, transport arrangements from railway station, airport to the venue of conference, accommodation arrangements in hotel, guest house of the organization, arrangement for good food and refreshment during lunch, pre-lunch, post-lunch sessions, tea, and all other physical needs to be arranged. Let the venue of the conference should be well lit, comfortable hall up to that standard. If national level conference, it should be at a national level. There should be enough chairs, proper stationery material. There should be proper sitting arrangement which would facilitate the group discussion. Let the chairman of the session occupy the central position so that the participants can see he may address the chair during the discussion. So it is very implied that the chairman should occupy the central place so that the participants can see him and address the chair during the discussion. So it is necessary to find out this type of things. Let the subject in all its ramifications be clearly thought out by the organization and host organization. There should be cyclostyle copies of speeches, program charts, reports, or the document that needs to be discussed should be cyclostyled or copied and kept in a fold and files for the participants. There should be proper stationery distribution. There should be proper hall with amenities. Registration kit should be prepared, and at the same time schedule who is going to speech, who is going to opine, who is going to inaugurate. What should be the structure of the conference sessions? What should be the analysis of what when we are going to be the session all based on question and answer or any culture or entertainment program that needs to be pre-visualized and pre-planned much well before. So like this we need to think about this. The next one is the actual conduct of the conference proceedings. On the first day the conference is inaugurated, the representative of the host organization addresses the delegates and welcomes them. He states the objectives of the conference. The delegates could be asked to introduce themselves. Cards with the names of participants could be placed in front of their seats. Then the host asks the delegates to select and appoint the chairman as well as select the secretary of the meeting. The chairman and the secretary needs to think about they have to adhere to the agenda and see the discussion is going in the right direction. It is not going anywhere. One issue must be or taken up for discussion at one time. On the second day, as we have seen, the participants could form in the group and the group will discuss on the specific topics. The leader will come up with the report of the group discussion and will suggest some kind of recommendations. On the second day, the chairman should invite the group leaders to make presentation and the chairman allows all participants to consider the recommendations and start their reactions. And when the viewpoints have been put forth, the chairman will make concluding remarks and summarize to all group leaders. If the chairman feels the issue needs to be looked into greater depth, he may suggest the formation of a committee for that purpose. So, like this third day, and if it is third day conference or 3-day conference, definitely the conference will be stretched over onto the third day. But it is dependent on the topic, gravity of the topic, the approaches, perspectives that needs to be considered before the conference is to be organized. So if it is 3-day conference, then third day conference proceedings will take place. The third stage is follow-up stage. After the conference gets over, discussions have been put forth or recommendations been made. Now it is time to look into the actual conduct and work. if there are any lapses, if there are any strategy that needs to be done, if the way is or the achievement of the conference is right or wrong, we can test it, we can evaluate it, and that is going to be the recommendations. The host will look into the follow up of the conference. So, like this, we have conference as one of the topic, and this topic needs to be studied with greater detail. So, like this, we have conferences, one of the business objective, and at the same time, a group communication, because a conference may consist of more than 50, more than 100 or 200, 300 participants, and such conference is going to be ultimately useful for the business organizations in all. In our next lecture, we are going to study and discuss what are the advantages and disadvantages of the conference. At the same time, we will go through what are the duties and responsibilities of the conference chairman in our next lecture. So, till then, goodbye. Thank you.